Willow Cottage, a simple guide for the new owner. Thank you for buying a Willow Cottage. Now you need somewhere to put your new home. You either need to own your own land or rent some from someone else. You need 20 metres by 20 metres. To be sure you have enough space, choose from the menu option Show Landowners. This will colour code the land so you can clearly see how much you have. Your land will be shown in green like this. Look in your inventory and find the Willow Cottage box that you've just purchased and res it on the ground like this. Right click on it and choose Open, and you'll see the contents. There's not too many things in there. And click on the Copy to Inventory box button. This will put the contents of the box straight into your inventory in a nice tidy folder for you. Here are the simple instructions which I highly recommend you have a look at. And now to res your cottage. Open up your inventory and find the Willow Tree Cottage folder, and then find your Willow Tree Cottage. There isn't many things in the folder, so it's not too hard. Left click on it and drag it down into the middle of your land. There we go. Now the cottage is quite big, so it'll shoot into view like this. I'm just going to close the inventory, and there you go. You can see your cottage. It's just one simple piece. Now right click on it and choose Edit, and we'll be able to move it. I'm just going to move the edit menu out the way so I can see what I'm doing. Can you see these little arrows in the middle of the cottage? You click on one of these arrows and you can move it in that direction. So clicking on the blue lets you move it up and down. I'm going to move the cottage down quite a way because it has very deep foundations, which is handy if your ground is a bit rough. So we can move it around. If I push on the Shift key, I get these little revolving circles come up. There we go. And I can again use these to turn the cottage round. I'm going to use the blue one to spin it round like that. If I click on the second tab in the edit menu, and right down at the bottom there's a little box marked Z, I can type in here the exact angle I'd like the cottage to be at, and I recommend you put 0, 90, 180, 270 as one of the angles. Our cottage is nearly in place. We just do a bit more wiggling just to fine tune it and make it sure it's exactly where we want it to be. If you at any time want to stop, don't worry, you can just right click on the cottage, choose Edit, and start moving it around again. So it's all in one piece, so it's very simple and easy to move around. There we go. Just lower it down so that I can get in the gate easily, and I think that's about it really. I'll just close the editing menu down. There we go. My cottage is now in place. Now here I am standing outside the door. I just touch the door and it swings open so that I can go inside. And you'll notice that some of the land is poking up through the floor a little bit. Right click, choose Edit Land, and I get the land editing menu. I'm going to pick Lower, and then left clicking and dragging on the ground lets me just smooth out that land with the little bulldozer tool. And I can do this anywhere where there's a little bit of land poking through, just to make sure everything's all tidy and finished. There we go. Now I'm outside and I'm going to plant the trees in the garden. That's the only other thing you need to do to set up. I'm just going to pick Willow Cottage Tree 1 from the menu, from my inventory folder, drag it into the garden. I'm just going to plant it over here. There it is. Alright, there we go. Right click on it and choose Edit, and again, just like with the cottage, use the little arrow keys to move it around and position it exactly where I want it. There it is. Nicely planted in my garden. Alright, now here comes the more complicated bit. If you own the land that you live on, then you need to use the tree called the Willow Cottage Tree 2 Owner's Version. That's if you live on mainland or you own your own island. So make sure you pick the owner's tree. Here it is in the inventory, and I'll just drag it down into the garden exactly as I did the first tree. Right click on it and plant it nicely in my garden. Exactly the same as I did the first tree. Simple as that. Now, if you rent your land from somebody else, you live on a private island for example, you must use the Willow Cottage Tree 2 Renter's Version. You also need to use this if you live on group owned land. This is very important, or the security and radio features will not work. So drag it out of your inventory and put it on the ground, and a little message will come up reminding you that you need to deed it to your group. This is so you can't possibly forget. So just click on OK to clear that message. Now you must make sure you move the tree into position before you do the deeding. So Edit, move it around if you want to move it around and position it exactly where you want it, and then go into the edit menu and say you want to share it with your group and click on deed. When you've done this, a message will come up telling you you've done it, so you know it's okay. You can't move the tree around after you've done this though. Your cottage is now set up. Simple as that. How to work the menus in Willow Cottage. All the various commands in Willow Cottage are controlled from a very simple to use control panel. Here is the main control panel downstairs in Willow Cottage, just above the fireplace. In fact, it's pretending to be a beautiful picture. There's a second control panel upstairs, there it is, above the fireplace upstairs, also looks like a picture. They both work exactly the same. Right, we're back downstairs and we're going to use this control panel. So I click on it and up comes the Willow Cottage control panel main menu. As you can see, it says picture, info, house, garden and season. I'm going to click on season and I'm going to choose Halloween. And look what happens. Instantly the cottage turns into Halloween mode. Isn't that effective? And if I look outside, it's Halloween outside too. Very simple. Let's use the control panel to change the walls and floor. Let's click on it and choose house and then pick walls. Now we're in the big downstairs room, so I'm going to pick big down because there's 4 rooms in Willow Cottage and I need to decide which one I'm changing. So big down. And then I'm going to choose a wallpaper. Let's have blue stripes, shall we? And there we go. Blue stripes now on the walls. And we'd like some matching floor, I think. Click on the picture, house again, and this time click on floor. Still in the big downstairs room. And what colour floor should we have? A blue one, I suppose, to match the wallpaper. Yep, there we go. Click on that one. And there you can see we have now got blue floor and blue walls. We have a working fireplace here in Willow Cottage. At the moment you can see that there's fire crackling in the hearth and there's smoke pouring out of the chimney outside like this. Very pretty. Now we can turn it off. We just click on the control panel, click, choose house, choose fires. You can see that we can turn off the crackling or the smoke independently, but I'm going to turn the fires off. So click that. Fire's gone out, as you can see. And if you look outside, you'll see that the smoke has also stopped coming out of the chimney. We can easily change the picture on the control panel. Click, picture, and we're now picking the downstairs picture. So we'll choose that and choose a different picture for it. So I'm going to pick the beautiful picture Godspeed. There we go. And the picture will change to match. There we go. Now if I click on it again, I can choose the frame. So click picture, and this time downstairs frame, and choose a different frame for my picture. There we go. And you'll see that the frame changes to match. You can also change the upstairs picture. You can work either one from either control panel. So again, I'm going to choose picture. This time I'm going to say I want the upstairs picture, and I'm going to pick a picture to choose. There we go. And now I've got a picture of a shepherdess upstairs in the frame up there. This guide continues with part 2.